So, as y'all know, we're running this stream on Friday the 13th. I should specify it is the Friday the 13th taking place in March of 2020, because none of the things that we taped on the previous Friday the 13th from, like, the end of 2019 are currently on YouTube, so I'm just going to start announcing the dates when we're taping things, because our YouTube upload schedule is a nightmare. You guys remember when we used to have it so that we broadcast on Friday, and then the very next week would have Friday's stuff up, and then that Friday's would, I don't remember that at all. feels like it never happens. Like I said, it's Friday the 13th, and if you're superstitious or whatever, people are like, oh, that's an unlucky day, that's a spooky day. So we kind of like to theme our streams around that. So for the unbox, I've got something that is kind of an international sort of affair. It's not really something that plays a major role in Western traditions. So this is very much a Eastern kind of thing. So I'm gonna say right now, hopefully I am not disrespecting a tradition, because I know that's like the easiest thing to do is to fucking Logan Paul it up and be like, here's a white dude trying to make sense of something that they do in the Eastern countries. But I'm interested in stuff like this, and when I saw it at one of the Asian markets I went to when I was out of town, it caught my attention. I'd never seen anything like it before, so I bought it and brought it home with me, did a little bit of research, and now I would like to show it to you guys. What we have to unbox is what is known as joss paper. That's a big stack of money in $10,000 denominations. Also, look at this. I tell you what, the joss paper is working for me, because I just got 10 Twitch pennies from Demonic Void saying, hey, I got an ad for once. Thank you. So somebody on the chat are already like, fake money? What is that? So technically it is fake money. But it's a very special kind of fake money. And I'll go ahead, it's still wrapped. You may have noticed the bank that the bank that issued this money is a bank that's pretty far down south. It's from the southern region. I know I'm stealing that joke from Little Nicky, but I can fucking make that work a hell of a lot better than that shitty movie did. And then, of course, here's the actual product sticker that is not cut very well. So joss paper, and then here's the actual price tag. You mean to tell me I get a stack of $10,000 bills for only $2.29? You kidding me? Hell yeah. I keep this in my... I know I'm going to hell, so I'll just keep this in my pocket, and when I get there, I'll be like, yo, what up? Hey, man, big spender in the house, you guys. So, this is kind of what I was referring to by apologizing in advance for maybe unintentionally disrespecting a tradition. So let me tell you what this is actually used for, and then I'll show you a little bit more about it. Joss paper... also known as, this is also hell money, I guess, this specific iteration of it, even though the sticker does just still say joss paper. It's a form of currency in Eastern countries that is burned as a type of offering to the deceased. And it comes in many forms. Not all of it necessarily looks like traditional money. Some of it is more rice paper that is stamped with special markings and things of the sort. And depending on who it is you're paying tribute to, you burn different types of papers as an offering. So it is very much an Eastern tradition, and at very authentic specialty like Asian markets, you can find things like this here in the United States. So that's where this came from. So I have this and one other example, but this is the more interesting one because there's more to look at here. So really, what this is for is in many Eastern religions, it's believed that when somebody passes away, they go to a place where their spirit is judged. So by burning the money, it's believed that even in the afterlife, a man's got to eat, right? So by burning this as an offering in memory of the deceased, they will in turn receive the money. And even though this says hell, it's believed that this kind of came from a little bit of a weird mistranslation, because hell is very much a Christian construct. So it's believed that when English, not necessarily settlers, but I guess missionaries were in China and places like that talking about Christianity, the Chinese thought that hell was just, that was the English word for afterlife. So that's the reason why they all say hell. Some say paradise or afterlife or eternity or stuff like that. They don't necessarily say hell, knowing that that actually has a bad connotation. But so that's the story as to why all the money is from hell, why it's issued from hell. So, like I said, it's burnt in offering because they believe that even the deceased need money. And I guess hell has got to be like Zimbabwe or something, because they're printing $10,000 fucking bills. I mean, it's pretty outrageous. They sell these in all sorts of denominations, but I've read that 10,000 is the most popular, most common one, so that's what I got it in. So I'll go ahead, I'll take the wrapping off. I'm going to try to hang on to the little sticker at least, so that I can keep it with the rest of the GatorUNbox things. So... That's what Captain Luce says, you go to hell before you die. I'll actually just pick one off the top so we can get a better look at this this totally legit money. 10,000. There's like a Nintendo DS over there. $10,000. I don't actually know who the man in the portrait is. Unfortunately, their name is not listed there. But I'm guessing it's either, if you look down here, the signatures, I mean, I guess, do I have a piece of American currency? I mean, I do have a piece of American currency that I can go get. Hang on. You can see basically how it's based. I mean, you can see the seal on the right is meant to represent the seal of the United States Treasury. Here on the left, Hell banknote, you know, it says Federal Reserve note. The denominations listed at the bottom and also in the corners, and you know, they look the same. Really, some of the differences is that the serial number is here, whereas on this it's way up here. But they do have the signatures at the bottom, and I realized I was going to point that out because I was going to say, well, it's either Yu Wong or Yen Jun could be the person in the center, but then I realized that when you look at a $1 bill, neither of these signatures are George Washington's, so I don't really know what I was going for there. I was kind of hoping that maybe it'd be a clue. I guess I didn't do good enough research, but I don't know exactly who that is. If you flip it over on the back is a little more plain, and I guess I'll also flip over the back of the $1 bill to kind of compare it with. This is kind of where it loses the similarities. Really, the only things I can think of is that I believe the denominations are still shown in the corners, but that's really about it. And then if you look over here, I believe there's a shrine or a temple here on the right, which is a place of worship where you would see people burning these. Now, one thing I am not going to attempt to do on the stream, because I feel like, again, that would be disrespectful in an unintentional way, is that whenever these are burned as offerings, you don't just light up the corner of it, you know, throw it, you know, you don't just burn the entire stack as is or whatever. There is a specific way that this is meant to be presented. Sometimes that involves stacking it with a specific number of bills in a specific arrangement. It also involves folding these into specific arrangements as well. So there is a little bit, I guess, of an origami aspect to it. I don't know any of the folds you're supposed to make, so if I were to... I mean, I know you can fold up a $1 bill so it says Tits of America across the top. I feel like doing that with something like that with this would not be appropriate. So I don't really know the proper way you're supposed to fold this to present it. But, you know, they sell a big stack of it. I don't know exactly how many $10,000 bills are here, but I mean it's at least $1 million worth. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if that's how much I'm actually holding, is $1 million in hell money, I guess. I will say though, you could really spice up your games of Monopoly if you use something like this in place of, you know, You slip a couple of these in there whenever somebody buys all the fucking boardwalk properties or whatever and starts killing people. Because I think what is like Monopoly money goes up to like $500 denominations, right? And I think according to the rules is that when the bank runs out of money in Monopoly, like when there's not enough left, that's it. You basically have fucked over the banks. It's not the way it works today, but you know, you can slip a couple of these inside your Monopoly game and spice things up. Give everyone hell money. You know, dish out the money you're supposed to do, and then give everyone one of these to sell their soul to the devil or something like that. Wouldn't that be some crazy shit though, right? Like now I'm just thinking of ways you could use this, and again, no disrespect intended, but I know a lot of people in chat have already kind of been kind of drawing correlations between money issued from hell and being like, well, that's capitalism for you. But I mean, what if you were to incorporate one of these or something like it with Monopoly, where if something bad happens in the game, like you land on a property and the rent on it is exorbitant because that's just what rent does in real life, you could use this to pay your way out of it. But then, you know what, like every turn you'd have to start like paying back this $10,000 hell banknote or something weird like that. I don't know. I looked at that when that's kind of the things I thought about when I first saw these in the store, because I didn't know what they were used for. So I looked at this and I'm like, it can't possibly be play money, because I don't remember buying play money with the word hell on it. So that seems strange. So that's what really caught my attention. But then, you know, I also thought about, you know, it's like Monopoly money. I think one of the guys I was with said Monopoly money. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. I think all Monopoly money is issued in hell. I don't know if you're intended to burn all of this all at once, or if, you know, you take a little bit at a time and then make your proper arrangement with it, and you can basically use it over the course of multiple visits. That much I don't know. But the reason why I brought out the $1 bill, I mean, I could have grabbed like a 20 or something instead, but I brought out this one because this old style of American currency, this is the only piece of American currency that still has its like original old school style. I mean, everything from $5 and up has that new like super high security thing with the strip inside of it and the numbers printed all weird and all that crap. So this is the closest match to what this is based off of at the bottom. So that's why I pulled that one out. But yeah, I found this, and I also found it amidst a few other things that are used in conjunction with the same type of ceremonial offerings as the hell money. And I have one of those as well. And this, I actually saw this first, and I was wondering, I thought this was chocolate at first, and then I realized it was not chocolate, but it's a big box of gold bars. And if we could use the glare to kind of help you read it, because otherwise it's really hard to see, because you can just see my camera in the reflection. It's 999.9 pure fine gold for only $2.99. So if you're looking to strike it rich, you can apparently buy almost completely pure gold at the Asian market. So this is also wrapped in a similar fashion, and it's also still marked Joss paper, even though this looks completely different than this, which is also marked Joss paper. Joss paper is just the general catch-all term for things that are used in these types of ceremonies. So I will open this up. It's like wrapped in cellophane. Hang on, it's really, there we go. So with these, I will take one of them. I will take one of them out of the cellophane. Let's throw it over there. All right. Now this, again, I'm not entirely sure if you're supposed to take these out of the box. So I'm going to do that so I can get a better look at it, but if this is something that is a faux pas or is, again, not acceptable, my apologies in advance. I'm not super familiar with the practice. Like, I don't know if you just take the wrapping off and then as is, like, this is a special, like these markings along the side, if they have any, well, if they have any significance, I feel like they could have spelled gold correctly. Maybe maybe when you make gold bricks out of cardboard, you can't call it gold, you gotta call it gold. I don't know. It's actually, this is pretty neat, actually. It's just, they are just empty cardboard tubes. There's nothing in them. If I were to, you know, poke the top down, there's absolutely nothing in there. They are completely empty. And they are folded in such a way so that they just kind of sealed back up on their own. They got a couple tabs that all lock into place. And it just says the same thing on every side. It's the same Chinese characters with 999.9 fine gold. Gold is spelled correctly on the actual gold bars, at least. These are strangely more rectangular prismy than I was expecting. I know that gold bullion is more of a trapezoidal shape in terms of the prism, or the ingot shape or whatever. This is really kind of a... it's just straight up and down. So that's like a really expensive, it's a really posh looking Lincoln log you got here. Again, I believe stacking these up like Lincoln logs might also be disrespectful, so that's not going to be something that I would be doing. Vandramon, are you sure the Kickstarter pen isn't hidden in here? From your level sucks. I'm not going to lie, I actually thought about using this for that gag. I thought about it, but I felt like that might be a little too inconsiderate to like appropriate, because I don't know, because I feel like in a strange way, like getting too memey with stuff like this would be like, you know, using rosary beads in place of like Mardi Gras beads. Like, that seems funny, but funny in a really disrespectful way. Tabitha's right, that's asking for bad juju. And this money, look, you may, I don't know if you're paying attention, this money came from hell, okay? Probably shouldn't be fucking around with hell gold and hell dollars, okay? But I will say, I mean, you guys know I'm going there, so I am sitting on a small fortune, so that, you know, when I do pass away, you know, next week, 5 years, 40 years from now, whenever, somebody needs to light one up in my memory, and I have just the stuff to do. So, like I said, you know, Joss paper was something that I had never seen before. So, you know, they make these big fat stacks of, you know, money that's intended to be burned. And you're also intended to burn these as well. I don't know how cleanly this will burn because it's got some type of, you know, outer layer on it. But they also, what really caught my attention is I thought these were toys at first. And the reason for that is because, obviously, the hell banknotes look like play money. And then I noticed the word hell a few minutes in. I'm like, okay, something doesn't add up here. So we got what I thought was play money, and then we have fake gold bars, and then another thing that are burned as offerings are small replicas of really nice items. You know, because you would want the departed to have nice things in the afterlife. So they have like little plastic cars, little plastic laptops, little plastic that look like Rolex watches and things like that. So I thought those were like play sets of things. I saw the little cars, the little watches, the fake gold jewelry and things like that. I thought they were all toys. And I started looking at this, I'm like, something just doesn't add up to all this. Because these look like toys, but the money is from hell. And I had to look it up like right then and there on my phone, because we were having a good laugh about it, but then I'm like, no, this is something. All of this means something, and I gotta get to the bottom of this. So, I learned a little bit about something from another culture, and I hope from taking a look at this, maybe you did as well, because I think, you know, whether you're spiritual, whether you're religious or not, I think traditions like this are interesting to me, because this isn't something that we do here in like Western society. So, you know, we just, you know, somebody dies, you print out a big picture of them, you put it next to the casket, everybody is, you know, there's a ceremony that's held, and then you either put them in the ground or you cremate the body and spread the ashes somewhere. That's it. So this was something new to me because, you know, I'm thinking about how I remember the deceased. I never do anything like this, so like I said, it piqued my interest, and I thought maybe it might pique yours as well. So, and plus, since it deals with since it deals with death and the departed, and it deals with hell and things like that, I thought maybe it'd be a little appropriate to show off on Friday the 13th. So there's not a whole lot here to unbox. Like I said, it's just, you know, you look at the money, it says Hell banknote. Okay, haha, that's funny. And then you got the gold, and well, that's really it. So hopefully it was informative. Hopefully you learned something. And like Okayness in chat says, though, you know, he thinks it's cool. Culture is good to learn, so you can respect others. And that's, you know, we tell a lot of jokes here, but what it all comes down to is we're all human, and we all deal with what this represents in different ways, and this is just one of the many ways around the world that people do. And I learned something, and I thought it was cool. So, hell would be Mario Maker. We're set for your level sucks if that's the case. We're ready to dive into that head on. So
Hey, thanks for checking out GatorBox on YouTube. We really appreciate it. If you like what you saw and you want to kick around with us live, follow us on Twitch because we do this several times during the week. And if you want to support this channel, you can do so by subscribing right here on YouTube, following or subscribing over on Twitch, or even making a pledge on Patreon. Your support over the years has been tremendous. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video right here on GatorBox.